get through on 75 points for the most part, and secondary teachers also scraped in
Good
with
day,
75
good day, good day,
points.
everyone.
If low points is your game, the trades are getting invites at 65.
Let's turn that off. See what's going on. We're going live. We're going live. Or as Michael J. Fox used to say, we're going back to the future. That's one for Annie, old girlfriend of mine, friend of mine, who absolutely loved Michael J. Fox and loved him so much that she's got, I think, Out of Time. Miss Cambo, how are you? She got Out of Time as a number plate, yes, on her car in Melbourne, if you see her roaming around. What are you up to, Miss Cambo? You got a busy weekend going on. I've been busy getting things sorted. If we need to have a chat, this weekend's the weekend to do it, because next weekend I'm going to Thailand. I'm in Thailand. I'm going to go to Bangkok for 4 or 5 days. So, but if you want to have a chat, then let me know. I've got this regular Saturday 2 till 3 my time, which is I suppose 6 till 7 your time on Saturday. If you wish to have a chat. You had the Dharma appointment. How did it go? Tell me. So, the conference. Which one? Was it the Far North Queensland one, the Townsville one, or there's quite a few. I think I've got that going. I've just sent that, but it's not updating for some reason. Sheikh Salman, how long is 199? I updated the stats. I think it's still taking the same amount of time. Even though I updated them, I don't think anything changed. Maybe one thing got updated. I will go to, I haven't shared it. Hang on for a moment. I've got to go browser. Let me find it. Browser properties. Processing times from Aussie Visa, mate. That looks good, doesn't it? Okay. So what does it say? For the, was it 191 you were inquiring about? Sheik, the 191 is taking 7 to 14 months. There it is there on the right-hand side, GSM visas. 191 regional, 50% are taking 7 months, 90% are completed within 14 months. So that is the story. I'm not really going on holiday. I am just going to Bangkok. It is my girlfriend's son's, birthday, 14th of December. So we've got to go for a shop. My girlfriend's probably not watching, so I can say, Sheik, it's not that bad compared to some of the visas. If you can get 7 months, if I'm getting PR, you're doing pretty well, right? Hello, Mr. Help Me to reach there in Australia, Brenda. Well, I can help people, but you've got to qualify, right? That's the thing. I can tell you how you qualify. You know, I don't know what you do. You got to have a skilled job. You got to have an English test if you're not exempt, and you probably need an employer, because for most people, employer sponsorship is the way to go. So anyway, going to Bangkok next weekend, and the girlfriend is getting Lululemon pants because she looks great in the active wear, but she's got Thai active wear, and it sort of bags around the arse and stuff. Like the Lululemon stuff, you pay for it, but man, it holds its shape. So all the good. Is that possible to get 482 from Pakistan? You can get a visa from anywhere, but getting a sponsor when you're offshore, doesn't matter what country, is very difficult, because in Australia we've got 1.3 million international students, working holiday visa people, student graduates. They're all onshore and they're looking to stay as well. So it's very difficult when you're offshore to compete, because you can't get in front of a client. You can't offer to do, a day for free to show them what you're good at and stuff like that. You can't, it's hard to compete, right? And it's also riskier because they don't know you from a bar of soap. And so, you know, if you want to get to Australia, come as a student, come as a tourist. You probably struggle to be as a tourist from Pakistan though, and then go that way. My girlfriend's 42. Her son's going to be 10 years old. Yes. Some people scamming, so you can. Well, you can. Look, if you look, say if you, not really good if it's a family member, but just say for instance, your uncle knew a bloke and and you know, I don't know, you're a bricklayer and he's a bricklayer. Well, he could sponsor you, right? As long as you meet the criteria, you know, you are a bricklayer and all that kind of stuff. You can get sponsorship if you're overseas, but for the most part, it's not going to happen, right? Like I'm about to start recruiting for early childhood teachers, aged care teachers, truck drivers, and like I've had 1,000 truck drivers, literally 1,000 truck drivers apply, but they can't get here because they're coming from Africa and they're coming from the Middle East, where you know they're working in Saudi and they're driving tankers and stuff like that. Like they can drive trucks, but the employers here, they want someone who's already in Australia, who's already got an Australian driver's license, who's already done their skills assessment, who's already got an English test. Like there's all these steps. They don't want to have to, you know, wait for protracted periods of time. Bitsec sent a heart me. Thank you much, Bitsec. Bless them. I get plenty of like Filipinos and Japanese who like I'm a carer and I want to move to Australia and all this kind of stuff. So like I've spent a month basically automating it so I can say, look, this is the stage you're at. You need to do an English test, or you've done your English test. That's great. You need to get to Australia, or you need to do a skills assessment. And you know, and I say, look, you're going to need 10 or 20 grand to go through this process. No employer is going to pick a random from overseas and go, I'll pay for everything. Come and get here and drive my truck. Like they could do that to someone who's already in the country. I'll train you and teach you and all the rest of it. So, but they say, but they are saying it's confirmed. Well, there are businesses. Like I don't know if there still is, but there used to be businesses like for welding, for instance, and they'd go over to the Philippines where there's a lot of welders, and they'd find them, and they'd have employers back in Australia, and they'd say, look, we'll get you 10 welders from the Philippines, or we'll get you 20 welders or 50 welders or whatever. And they were confirmed jobs because you couldn't find welders in Australia. But for aged care workers, it's very difficult if you haven't done the Australian course. You need to meet English requirements for which aren't that hard, but you need to get a skills assessment, and the skills assessment needs to be foreign and work experience, and then you're competing with people in Australia who've studied, who have higher English standards than the minimum already because they've been here and studied, and they don't need work experience because they've got the Australian qualification, and that included 160 hours on-premise work. So if you do any sort of, a lot of people haven't done any research, they just think Australia's a great place to come, which it probably is, from where they're living. But the reality is that you can't just pack your bags and jump. You know, I think you need at least a 6-month plan, maybe a 12-month plan, in order to successfully do it. It's not the kind of thing you can do on a Friday night having beers with your mates and say, oh, I think I'm going to go to Australia on Monday. Yeah, won't happen like that. JDN, I am located in Hua Hin, Thailand. Yeah. Look, it's no. I wouldn't say it's no for everyone, but it just depends. Like, you know, if you're a brain surgeon and you want to get a visa into Australia, I'm sure if you rang around a couple of, you know, Sydney Royal Melbourne or Royal Sydney Hospital, and they said you need a brain surgeon, they probably sponsor you, right? But unless you've got really rare skills that other people don't have, I don't think that that you're likely to, given the current situation, to get an offer from overseas. Like I've heard English people who got their permanent residence, and they said, "Oh, we're going to arrive in Perth in February," and the plumbing company, and he was a plumber, and the plumbing company said, "Oh, we'll employ you in February." That sounds great, right? They did their calls and things like that, but he already had permanent residence, right? He already got his visa. He was just waiting to the end of the financial year, and that suited the business because they were going to take time off over Christmas and started the new calendar year, and that was good. So I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm saying there's probably better ways of doing it if you can get to Australia as a tourist or as a student or a working holiday visa. There's lots of countries now that have access to the working holiday visa system. It's not just your Brits and your Irish. So how much is your short consult? My only length consultation fee is $199, and you can book me at meeting.dragonmigration.com. Meeting.dragonmigration.com, and you pay by Skype, and I'll do a Teams thing with you. So thanks for the roses and the heart me from JDN. Bitsec is holding a Guinness World Record count as skills assessment for global talent. Well, that would be internationally recognised, but you've got to have. I don't know what I'm not sure what the visa thing is anymore. It used to. What was it? It used to be the. Oh, I can't even remember the subclass. I had a couple of interesting ones. I had Lou Ferrugga, the original Hulk, and I had the guy who was the original. Had a British guy who was a black guy. He was the original Simba in The Lion King. His references were the guy who wrote, what's his name? Cameron McIntosh, and the guy who wrote Andrew Lloyd Webber. So I said, would I know you? And he said, oh, you know the part I played. I was the young Simba in The Lion King on the West End. I said, oh, okay. I said, are you still performing and stuff? He said, oh yeah, that was 20 years ago. I still perform and stuff. So because you've got to maintain your international reputation. So anyway, it's changed a bit now, but I don't know if having a Guinness World Record would qualify you. But it's interesting. Although while we are talking the bazaar, I was checking through who was offered the 189s in the last round, and Australia's still desperate to win the Australian Open because another tennis coach got through. So we're still trying to bring our international tennis coaches into the country in preference to, a bricklayer or an electrician, someone who we could actually use to build green infrastructure or houses around the country. But no, for some of us, a little bit of tennis would be good and important. Cool Bear sent me 5 roses. Thank you very much. Magoosh, talk about the spouse visa. What would you like to know? Ask a question. I can talk spouse visas all day. I've got a guy who got into a domestic violence situation, and apparently now I don't know how long they've been doing it for. The department just removed his application from my IMI account and said you need to get the visa applicant to approve it. And I wrote back. I was like, "Oi, I'm the representative. Don't remove it from my account. It's not his own personal account. He doesn't even have access to it." Oh God, I couldn't believe it. So what's about that? So I was like, how am I supposed to upload these documents? Jesus, they're hopeless. The quota's hit. The quota's hit. Nathan, yeah, it's gone. Can my auntie sponsor me if I'm English and she's Australian? Well, Alex, look, there is a 491, I think it is, family sponsorship stream. There's been 450 applications. There's been 300 applications just gone. And before that, there was 150 in August. And before that, there was none for 18 months. So she could, but I don't like your chances, right? There was one lucky radiation oncologist, so some cancer specialist with an X-ray or something, who got a family offer in the last round, and there were none in the 189 round. So they were a special, unique case. So Muzzy sent me some roses. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But the 17,000 places that they had allocated are now gone. I somehow got onto these Facebook groups for 189, and there's all these people asking the dumbest questions. I've got an invitation, and how do I prove my work experience? I'm like, don't you think, or my visa, my passport's expired. I'm like, if you knew it was going to come up, why did like your passport must have expired 6 months ago? Why wasn't that updated? I mean, Jesus. So God, it's hysterical. They should have an IQ test for the people who are applying for these things. Forget about the English test. Let's get some intelligent people in who can actually navigate the visa system themselves. So will there be another 189 invitation round? There won't be unless the minister decides to risk all and do another one, because his allocation is out. But that's not to say like last year they did 22,000, the allocation was still 17,000. They just went for it, right? So, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So the next one should be around September next year. So it's a long wait. And look, the thing is, it's such a waste of money, right? I mean, the IT people and accountants have been doing professional years, and none of them got invited. Like, what's the point of spending a couple of grand on a professional year if you got 5 more points, but that doesn't get you a visa, right? You can't eat points, right? I mean, it's an absolute rort. And there's all these occupations that haven't been offered, and they're spending $2,000 to $10,000 on skills assessments and English tests and running around trying to get bloody extra points with foreign languages and things like that. People spending thousands of dollars, they've got no chance of being selected. So look, if you're in a country with an ETA, get into Australia, try and find work here. Come on a holiday. You're not supposed to look for work on a tourist visa, but if you're in a pub, you're talking to someone, and I really like Australia, and what do you do, and I'm a recruiter. It's like, I work for a recruitment firm as well. We're desperate for people. I'll come in and have a chat, right? So, and then get on a work visa. That's what you should be doing, right? Not dicking around wasting time. And if you can't get in, try coming in on a student visa. I know it's an expensive way, but it might be the only way you've got. So if you're set on Australia, that's what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Quotas hit. Some of those records. Bitsec, there was a guy who ate a bicycle. I know there was a guy who ate a bicycle, and then they retired the category because they didn't want people trying to eat bicycles. They thought it'd be bad for their internal. He filed it all down apparently, and there's all kinds of strange things in the Guinness Book of World Records. There was a guy who had the Guinness Book of World Records for the most Guinness Book of World Records, and then he got overtaken, and then he was competing with another guy. They were all trying to find obscure records to try and do. Do I need certificate 3 for barbering to get 482 with 2 years and 6 months experience? It's a MER. So I think for hairdressers, which is the ANSCO code that barbering comes under, or being a barber comes under, I think you'll probably need to do a skills assessment if you don't have an Australian qualification. If you've got an Australian qualification, you are exempt. And if you don't have a qualification at all, then you'd need to have 3 years work experience in lieu of a formal qualification or apprenticeship. And then on top of that, you would need another year to qualify for the 482 visa. So because you need to be educated in your occupation, and then post-education, after you've completed your education, you need 12 months work experience to get 482. So might be quicker for you to do a Cert 3 if you can get into the country, or if you're not already here. Also, boat builder for some politicians' yacht. Yes. Well, yeah. I was reading about James Packer's got a 117-metre yacht. Or I don't know why you'd need boat builders, really, because they've basically taken all the Russian oligarchs' super cruisers and things like that. You can probably pick up a super cruiser for 20% of the price, maybe. Yes, have a think about it. Marzi, Miss Cambo's going on. Facebook is terrible. I mean, I'm sure people are asking Dorothy Dick so they can make themselves look good in the answers and stuff like that. Some of the questions are crazy. Brenda is followed the coast. Thank you very much. Following's free, people. If you're watching and you're wondering what's going on, there's my lovely girlfriend. That was her social media post this morning. Of course, highly filtered, but she looks like when the filter's on, she hates freckles, and of course she's Thai, so she hates being sort of a brown color. But she almost looks Chinese in this because she's like pale white, no freckles, and it's quite funny. It's quite funny. Oh my god. I was trying to see. I assume I can be heard, and all that. So yeah. So here we are. Okay. Oh, I've only got 6 people watching, 7 people watching. We should have more people. I'll tap away, and send some likes. What's everyone else up to? If no one's got anything to say, I'll go back to doing programming. BitSec, I bought a new M4 Mac 24 gig 512 half a terabyte drive and running a local LLM, and it's a gun, absolute gun. So the back end is blitzing along. At the moment, I'm filling in all the details for aged care and for childcare. Do you know there's 11,000 childcare centres in Australia? 11,000. There's thousands of them. There's 5,300 aged care facilities, and some of those they're like in-house type things. They're not, residential or whatever. Annie Mac shared the live. Thank you very much. Yeah. So anyway, we're getting up to date. People have been applying, been getting applicants for aged care work. So I've got to get onto that pretty soon. I've got to finish this. I can't really do it this weekend. I say we're not going to do it till the start of January. I've still got to do my AI agent to answer emails and answer the phone, and that's going to take a week or 2 to test, and that's pretty exciting. And then I don't know what else I've got to do. Yeah. Oh, I've got to set up the CRM system so that the businesses get allocated to salespeople and tracks all the calls and things like that. So yeah, no, it's all coming along. It's all pretty cool. I need, if someone's an accountant or a recruiter, particularly in aged care or early childhood, then got some opportunities there. Yeah. Declan Burke joined. Hi, Declan. Still only got 7 people. We've got 41 roses. So, what are people doing this weekend? What are people doing this weekend? Anyone have plans? My girlfriend's off at work. Maz sent 4 more roses. Ooh, sneaking her way up. We're a popular live, it says. Just going to daily rankings. We're D2. It says we're D2. 200. No, we're not going to do that. But we're still D2, D1. It's funny that they don't drop us off. They always keep us up there, but we can't quite get to the next level. I think, yeah, but it's still quite interesting. So, no one got anything to say? Anyone there on? I don't think there's anyone on YouTube. That's it. Ooh, Marzi, please answer. What's the question, Marzi? Marzi. I'm going back through the history. I'm trying to find it. Gone all the way back to the start, Marzi. I can't find your original question. So I've got some roses from you. I'm more than happy to answer it. Maybe it's been filtered. Just sent a question. Send it again. I can't see it. It does say some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. You could, if it won't come through, you can always send me a DM and I will answer it in the DMs. So, Michael Clark's joined. How are the Australians going in the cricket? So, I haven't done much to, haven't been following the cricket, but Bangy's watching from Uganda. Good on ya. People, isn't the internet an amazing thing? I mean, it's like when I was a kid, like it probably cost you $4 a minute to call someone in Uganda if you knew someone there. And of course, you know, one of the reasons there's so much migration now is because of the internet. People get online and they see all these big cities and cars and things like that. Like, you know, well, I'm in Thailand and there's still probably 10 times as many motorcycles as there are vehicles like cars. And, you know, people who aren't in the savannah, people in the savannah of Africa, for instance, and they think that the whole world looks like this because they haven't seen anything else ever in their life, and then suddenly the internet comes along and mobile phones, and they can see all these things, and they think, oh God, what am I doing here? Those Australian beaches look pretty cool. I want to move to Australia. So, Marzi, I've got please answer and just send a question. Did you send it to my email? Because I don't have my email access at the moment because I can't stream and email the same account, but I can definitely help you out. Joseph has joined. Swag's joined. We're down to 5 people. So I'll have to go back to doing it every day again because I haven't been online for a month because I've been too busy trying to work things out. But we have been working things out. So now that it's all worked out, let me get back to my True account and see if Marzi has sent me a message in the request. Marzi, aha. Can I add my wife to my 491 visa in processing, but we were separated when I received my invitation? I don't think so, because off the top of my head, Marzi, I'll look it up for you because I've got your details, but I'm pretty sure that you need to have made the application at the same time and place. That's generally the case. So you might not be able to add them while processing's ongoing. You might need to. I think the 491's a terrible visa because what will happen is you probably can't add them until you get your PR, basically. So you might have to wait offshore for, well, if you want to be together, or you bring her in as a student or something. I mean, it's very expensive. I'll look it up for you and I'll get back to you, but I suspect not. Yes, we'll get back to you. No worries. Tricky, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. People sending me their WhatsApp numbers. I don't even have WhatsApp. I'm on your live right now. And I'm living in Japan with my girlfriend who's from Burma, Myanmar, just on the border, across the road from me. We're trying to get her to Australia on a visitor visa to apply for an onshore partner visa so we don't have to wait offshore. Yeah, we were rejected once because they felt her intent to stay was not strong enough. We are thinking of reapplying with her work sponsor in Japan certificate as well as her graduation expected date and signed lease contract for a 2-year. What are your thoughts? I don't know. I'd have to see the reason for the rejection and how old you are and things like that. But I will get back to you. it's relatively cheap to apply for another tourist visa, and you may be able to rectify the reasons by providing more information for that. But if your girlfriend has got a Myanmar passport, you know, the junta there, they're at war. They were picking fights with Thailand just the other day. I think up north, not near me. In fact, I went to Myanmar. I went to Rayong. I was there for about 15 minutes while I did my border cross. And they said to me, oh, sometimes the border closes, and I was like, why? They said, oh, they go to war, you know. So, and sometimes, you know, that border was going to be closed for a month, but or that point. Yes, I think it's very tricky if people are from countries that have got internal war, even if they're outside of the country, it's very tricky. You might be better off lodging an offshore application and then trying to get a tourist visa on the basis that you're married and that. But I will respond here. Oh, that is Marzi again. She was here on a 485 and left voluntarily with a 60-day overstay. Yes, well, 60 days is more than 28 days, so she's been unlawful as well, didn't comply with her visa conditions. I think she's unlikely. I think she's highly unlikely to be granted a tourist visa to come back. Yes. Well, it doesn't really matter, right? The department, the obligation's on you to maintain your legal status. It's your responsibility. It's your visa as an individual. So, talking of which, 6, 7, 8 on Monday, I've got to go and renew mine. On the 8th, I've got to go do my run to immigration. So. Miss Mother Trucker, there's no age restriction on getting a work visa, but work visas are sponsored. So you need an employer who's prepared to employ you. If you're a truck driver and you can find someone to sponsor you, then yeah, you can get a work visa. Truck driving is not on the regular, what we call the CSOL, the Core Skills Occupation List. It's only available in DARMA regions, which is designated area migration regions. They are basically regional areas, but the whole of Western Australia is regional, as is the Northern Territory and South Australia, except for Adelaide, the capital city. So if you were going to come over, I would suggest you go to Perth, and then you can get your Australian license, because we drive on the other side of the road, and you have to get an Australian heavy license. You need to have 3 years work experience, which sounds like you probably do, and that's it. You won't be able to get permanent residence. You can drive until you drop. We had a family member who drove until he dropped. I think he's still driving at 85 or something. You can do all that, yeah. Come for a holiday. Like you get an ETA as an American. You've got the power of the US dollar, so you'll have plenty of cash. Go for a holiday in Perth, see if you like the place. You can get your Australian license while you're there. It takes 1 to 3 weeks. And ring around a couple of places, see if they're interested. And yeah, I can help you out. Pasha. High serve, 85 points for a 190 as a first class welder. I'm from Victoria, no, like 190, 189, 80 points. Well, the thing is, you don't have 85 points for a 190. You've only got 80 points, right? And then if they make an offer to you, they'll give you 85 points. But if they make an offer, it doesn't matter what your points are, you're going to get through, right? So you don't have enough points. You're 5 points short. Welders needed 85 points. But if you've got a job as a welder, then then yeah, get sponsored and you're across the line, right? It's easy. 5 more points will add on in 3 months. Do you think they are enough? Well, they probably are, but you're going to have to wait till September or November next year, and you're going to have to you're going to have to be selected, and I don't know when your current visa runs out and all that kind of stuff. But you got to hope that they don't change the points test or get rid of it. So I strongly recommend to everyone, anyone who's been watching this channel knows I always say, get a job. You just need work and you can get PR. I mean, I keep telling people and they're like, but if I win Tats Lotto, I'll be a millionaire. And I'm like, yes, but if you worked, you could probably be a millionaire as well. Just save more money. It's the same sort of thing. And like if you got a job in a 482 today, you'll almost be getting permanent residence by the time your permanent residence came through. You got to wait till November, then you have to wait 6 months to get your visa. I mean, it's going to be 2027 in any event before you actually got your visa. So my current visa will expire in September 2027. Well, Pasha, what's your current visa? Are you on a 482 or are you on like a 485? And are you working as a first class welder? These are the important questions. So, okay. Yep. So you're on a 485. So are you working as a welder? I mean, like if you're not working as a welder, well, what's you're eligible, so you thought you'd give it a try or something. But I mean, if you're not working in the field, what did you study? Surely you didn't start studying welding and... Englishman. I'm currently working 3 months left in completing 3 years. Well, go direct entry. You must have a skills assessment if you're making a GSM application. So if you've got a skills assessment, you've got 3 years, get direct entry. Any employer can give you direct entry. You'll have PR in 12 months. It'd be much faster and it's guaranteed. If you've got a 485, you must have IELTS 6. So you meet the English requirement. You have everything, right? Get onto your boss. Get onto your boss and say, I've been here 3 years. I've been the best worker of all time. I need PR. I'll still be here for another 12 months. You got 7 each. God. 66.69. 66.69. Is that 6'7"? I don't know. What is this 6'7" thing? I think it's crazy. So, Pasha, get onto your boss and say, look, I need to get PR, blah, 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 blah. And if he says, oh, knows how to laugh, 6'7", if your boss won't, if the boss says no, then you can lodge your nomination today, Pasha, right? Because by the time that you can lodge the nomination, and if you won't lodge it, just go, okay, well, I'll let you know I'm looking for work, right? And I'm gonna leave as soon as someone says they'll nominate me for direct entry. Straightforward, right? And they'll be there. So it's going to cost them. It's going to cost the employer maybe $3,500, like $3,000 for the training fee and $540. So $3,500 is what's going to cost the employer to nominate you. They get you guaranteed for 12 months, and that's half the recruitment fee to replace you. I mean, how hard is it? you can lodge the nomination now. As I said, you've got the skills assessment, you've got the English, you just don't have the 3 years. So you lodge the nomination now, and in 3 months' time, Pasha, drop me a DM if you want. I'll speak to your boss, right? I'll speak to him and say, look, this is the situation. He needs his PR. He's been a good employee for the whole time. He's still going to be with you for 14 months, maybe 18 months, because they're taking fucking forever. You're going to lock him in, otherwise he's going to walk, right? Tiddaleo, how can I apply? How can you apply for what? For what? Let me know. Let me know what you want to apply for. I'm in for a reminder. I don't know what I'm in for a reminder. People write these strange things. Tiddaleo, look, if you're a truck driver, an aged care worker, or ECT, early childhood teacher, then go to dragonrecruitment.com and register there, and there's an automated process. If you are basically in Australia and qualified, then you get invited to join our portal where you can upload your resume and we can find work for you, right? We've got a list of all the employers in aged care and early childhood, and you whack in your postcode and we can contact all of the ones that live within cooey of you. So 5Ks, 20Ks, whatever distance you're prepared to travel, we can contact them and say, we've got this person, do you have any vacancies? Right? And then we explain to them how they can kick the immigration requirements, getting sponsorship, DAMA agreements and things like that. So no worries, Pasha. Mate, if I can help you out, I can make a phone call, right? The employer's probably clueless about what needs to be done or what's going on, what your situation is, and they just need some explanation. And once they know what the deal is, they go, oh, is that all? Oh, sure, no worries, yeah, let's do it, right? Want to keep him, he's a good guy. And if he turns around and says, look, the guy's a prick, I want to get rid of him, well, I'll tell you, and you can go find another job, right? So sometimes people are just, like, especially migrants, they're too scared to ask, right? And I don't have that problem, so I can ask for you, right? CAFA, I applied for a 482 and it was refused. Why was it refused? Was it refused because it was not a genuine position? Is the 189 full? Ludo, it's full. It's all 10,000. It went up on the department's website yesterday. 10,000 positions were done, which is the quota for the year. So there's no more. And CAFA, so yeah, there's no more unless the minister goes bananas and does another round, but he shouldn't. The quota's hit. I then applied for a 186 with the same company. The only issue appears to be the nominated position. Well, that's a pretty big issue, CAFA. And you should never have applied for a 186. If it wasn't a genuine position when you applied for 482, what's changed that's making it a genuine position now? Because it's the same test. You're a computer and network engineer. But they said it's going to be a quarterly round. Well, what they say and everything else, that's it. That's it. I can only tell you what the rules are. Oh my God. Beckham Holmes is interested, but I don't know what he's interested in. People who write to me and go, hello, or I'm interested, don't know. Can you fix this problem if I contact you? I might be able to, but if you've already lodged the applications, did you lodge them? You must have lodged them yourself. Surely an agent didn't tell you to lodge a 186 after the 482. You should be going the professional indemnity insurance of the agent if they've told you to do that. That's outrageous. Look, you'd have to book an appointment and I'll spend an hour with you to figure out exactly why they've rejected it, what your skills are, what your current situation is. You're currently working for that company, etc., etc., etc. And like, it's in the system, right? but I can tell you if I think it'll be successful or not successful, and I can tell you how to make it a genuine position or what was missing or whatever. But I mean, you know, I don't know if I can fix the problem until I've got the facts, right? Well, you can't call me. You need to book an appointment. Meeting.dragonmigration.com. Book an appointment or drop me a DM. You'll need a book appointment to get my time. Yeah. And I wouldn't wait. If it's definitely broken, you want to get it fixed as soon as possible. Like, you don't need to get it fixed with me, but I mean, you need to talk to someone to get it resolved. Yeah. So I don't know why. I have to see the decision record to see why they rejected it on a genuine basis. It's very, very hard for it. Well, you know, if it's a small business, you might not need a CNSE. You know, if it's a three, like if it's a 7-Eleven, they probably don't need a CNSE, right? No genuine position. But if you're working for a reasonable sized company, they probably do need a CNSE. So if you're working for a systems engineer, for instance, well, you know, maybe they do. So, but you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have lodged a 186 if they've already rejected a 482. So, yeah. Anyone else got a question? Questions? My 189 visa offers has got, which I only posted an hour ago, has got 1,400 views already, 49 likes. Go and check that one out. Pat joined. Hi, Pat. People asking questions. Yay, first comment to reply. Should get if they offer. So responded to people. Respond. I can't pay. Marzi, I've got it there, but it's a mile long. I'll need to get back to you. I'm a truck driver in the UK. I want to move to Australia. Can you help, please? Faizi, do you have a British passport? Being physically in the UK doesn't mean you've got a British passport. So basically, if you can easily get a tourist visa, like you can get an ETA or an e-visa, then what I suggest you do is you need 3 years work experience. If you've got a British passport, you don't need an English test, but if you're from a different country, you need an English test. And then you get a tourist visa, you come to Australia, you get your heavy license, you can look for work while you're here, but don't tell anyone you're doing that. And if you find a sponsor, they can sponsor you. I suggest you go to Perth. That's the biggest state with the most trucks and mining and the most demand, etc. But that's in a nutshell. You can drop me a DM or register with dragonrecruitment.com and register a truck driver. It'll send you the information, tells you what you need and what the process is. It just sends you a form and you fill it in, and it tells you what stage you're up to and how we can help. But we can't help until you're qualified, right? So yeah. Shay, what's the current status on the next round for the 189 and ECT? Haven't I EOI in since April? Well, you need at least 85 points. If you don't have 85 points, you're screwed, right? Every month there's another 400 people finishing the course and whacking their application in. I said by Christmas there'd be 10,000. I don't know if it's got that high. And I won't know until next month how many they've actually offered, because we know what the cutoff is, but we don't know what the offers are yet because that information is a month delayed. So, but the next round, well, that's not going to be, they don't publicise it. Although they did this last one. They said, well, we're going to do a round on the 15th or whatever it was. The quota is full for this financial year, so there'll be none for until at least July, and they never do them in July. They did one in August this year, and there was September the year before. So August, September. So you've got an 8-month wait. In that 8 months, there's going to be another 3,000. There'll definitely be 10,000 people in the queue. You'll definitely need 85. You'll probably need 90, if not 95 points. So I don't know how many points you've got, Shay. Obviously, it's not 85 because the cutoff was November. What was the ECT early childhood? So 85. There was 1,251 people on 85 points. Now they didn't offer 1 in 8 of the positions for early childhood. So there's still going to be, maybe they offered, say, I don't know, maybe 300 if you're lucky. So there's still a shitload of people who are probably in front of you on 85 points. So how about 190s? Yeah, well, that's why, Shay. 1,251 people. I mean, hard. Oh no, sorry, that was for. Man. Okay, so for 189s on 85 points before the round there was 691, and on 80 points there's 1,342. So maybe next round you will, but like there's 7,964 people. Last year there was 503 offers. So that's, if they do a round next year, you probably get through. Probably. But I mean, it's a long way. How about 190s? So that's the figures I was looking at. 190s is just like there's squillions. There's 9,300 applicants because a lot of people are applying in multiple states, especially if they're offshore. There's 920 people on 90 and 1,600 on 85 points. So you actually need more points to get a 190 application now than you do to get a GSM, because they're only asking for, each state is only asking for 10 or 15 people, but when the feds do 10,000, they're asking for like 500 at a time. So yeah, there you go. But you can track it in Aussie Visa, mate. Get my app and get all the stats. And you got to pay for it, but I've got to pay for it too. So I just recovering. Or you can go to the website. You don't need to get the app. If you got Android, go to AussieVisaMate.app, and you can download the Android version, or it'll send you to the App Store, or it's on the website, but you got to pay. It's paywalled. Kyle, would it be possible to get PR working in the health and fitness sector, say like a gym manager? Gym manager might be a retail manager or something like that. I don't know if there's a gym manager. Gymnastics coach or instructor. Fitness center manager, that sounds like you. It's not on the core skills list. In some regional areas, I don't know which ones. Well, it's on some regional lists. There's only 76 applicants. I don't like your chances because all of the states have got less than 20, so I can't tell you how many people. There's less than 20 offered, and the predicted cutoff is 95. So it's be very hard as a fitness center manager. So yeah, but not on the CSOL. But they might, if the occupation gets added to the list, that's when you should jump. So yes, can't help you otherwise. Or if you're very well paid, the specialist skills, if you get paid more than 161,000, I think it is. What is it? 482. 141,000. If you're getting paid more than 141,000 as the fitness center manager, then you could go the specialist skills route, but that's a lot of money. Best engineering recruitment companies in Perth. I don't know, but if you like, there's probably like the really big ones, but I don't know the situation there. It's not a field I'm in, but Curtin University has a which is in Western Australia, Perth, has a very big engineering faculty and mining engineering and things like that, sort of like the go-to place to do things. So perhaps if you contact them and ask, you know, in their careers type area, who you should speak to, who are the engineering recruitment companies. I wouldn't go to, I don't know, does Manpower still exist or any of those sort of big ones? Like, no, if you're offshore, no recruiter's going to touch you, right? It's too hard. They're not about filling jobs. They're about making commission. I was a recruiter for 12 years. I can tell you this for a fact. They're not going to want to wait for someone who's got to do 3 months and then bring their family here, and you know, because they don't get paid until you start, right? So do you want to place a local person who can start in a week or 4 weeks, or do you want to place someone offshore with all the risks and blah 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 blah, and they're going to, you know, wait for the end of the school year and take 10 months to get here? No way, right? So if you're in Western Australia or in Perth, then it's probably easier to find out who the better ones are. I can't tell off the top of my head. But if you're offshore, a recruiter's a complete waste of time, right? If you're offshore, the only way you're going to get a job is if someone contacts you on LinkedIn or something like that. An employer contacts you and says, hey, we've got this opportunity and you look like you're perfect for it. What's your situation, right? That's brutally honest, realistic. That's what's going to go on. Your information, very interesting. No worries, Vicky. Try and keep it as interesting as I can. Try and be brutal. Look, I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's a crazy system currently. So, yeah. But if you're in, yeah, and I don't know what kind of engineering. There's probably specialists engineering for civil and I don't know, chemical and electronic and all the different types. Yeah. Anyone else got a question? Otherwise, I think I've got something at 6. I might have another English class I've got to teach someone English. Is that today? What's today? No, that was last week's. Yeah, I do. I've got one at 6. I've got 45 minutes. Anyone else? Gone. Okay, no worries, people. I'm going to head off, get a snack before my English class. Have a good weekend, everyone. Travel with Dan, quickly. Chance of invitation for 190 visa in Victoria, 80 points. I don't know what the occupation is. Primary teacher with an ongoing job secured. Let's have a quick look. Primary school teacher, 190. We say you need 95 points. There was only 80 offers last year. It's not very many. Victoria did take, Victoria's got 369 applicants and they took less than 20 recently. So probably not looking good. But if you've got onshore, been in Melbourne 18 months, yeah. So I'm not sure what I don't know about I think on a points, but look, it's very hard in Victoria because Victoria doesn't really care about the points, right? You got to qualify, and then they sort of pick the people and everything like that. So I don't want to say you've got no chance. If you've made an application, well, sit there and see how you go. They've got 2,100 as a quota, and so far they've only made 5 applications, so they're not even making offers currently. So you might, and they've got 2,100, so primary school teachers are going well. So yeah, maybe you're, yeah. maybe you're a chance. Would 90 points be better? Well, 90 points is always going to be better than 85 or 80. But yeah. What did I say? But those figures might change because a whole heap of people have been offered as, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. No, because it's not on the 189 list. So anyway, well, those figures still could change because I've still got to update last month's figures for applicants. So, yeah. If you've got a job, get sponsored. Like if you look at our 482 thing, like it's a who's who of in the job search. Westgrove Primary, South Melbourne Primary School, David Creeks Primary School, Catholic Education Sandhurst, Southwest Rocks Public School. There's plenty of private schools who are 482 sponsors or who'll sponsor you. So yeah, sponsorship could be the way to go. Okay, no worries then, people. Thanks for